The Dravaks had ruled the stars with unparalleled cruelty for over 3 centuries. Their massive warships, resembling jagged obsidian knives, cut through space with impunity, leaving devastation in their wake. Worlds that resisted were bombarded until their surfaces turned to glass. Those that surrendered became little more than mining operations to feed the ever-expanding Dravaks empire. Commander Jack Foster stared at the holographic display on the bridge of the Earth Alliance flagship Defiance *. The projection showed another human colony world, New Hope, under siege. Millions of civilians were trapped there with minimal defenses. Admiral Ward's fleet is still 4 days out. Lieutenant Reed reported, her face grim. New Hope has less than 2. Jack nodded. This was the 3rd colony attacked in as many weeks. The Dravaks were pressing their advantage, knowing humanity's forces were stretched thin across dozens of systems. Then we deploy the Whisper, Jack said quietly. The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what this meant. After years of catastrophic losses, Earth's scientists had developed something new, something they hoped would change the course of the war. But it remained untested against the Dravaks in actual combat. Sir, Reed hesitated, are we authorized for deployment? Jack handed her a data chip. Direct orders from Earth Command were cleared to proceed. Deep in the Defiance's secure laboratory section, Dr. Alan Moss made final adjustments to what appeared to be a small, unremarkable metal sphere no larger than a basketball. Its surface was a plain matte gray, betraying nothing of the revolutionary technology within. It's ready, Alan said, wiping sweat from his brow, though I still wish we had more time for testing. Jack placed a hand on the scientist's shoulder. The Dravaks aren't giving us that luxury. The sphere, officially designated Psychological Warfare Device XJ7, but nicknamed Whisper by its creators, represented humanity's most closely guarded secret. Not a weapon of destruction, but something potentially more powerful. 2 days later, the Defiance emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the New Hope system. 3 massive Dravaks dreadnoughts orbited the planet, periodically firing devastating energy beams at population centers. They haven't spotted us yet, Reed confirmed, monitoring the sensors. Stealth systems holding. Launch the delivery drone, Jack ordered. A small, unmanned craft separated from the Defiance carrying the Whisper toward the largest Dravaks vessel. Designed to mimic space debris, it drifted through the battlefield unnoticed. The Dravaks had never bothered with electronic countermeasures. Why would they? No species had successfully infiltrated their ships in centuries of conquest. Their arrogance had become their blind spot. When the drone attached to the hull of the flagship, it silently deployed its payload. The Whisper activated, generating an invisible field that expanded throughout the massive warship. Now we wait, Jack said. Inside the Dravaks dreadnought, Supreme Commander Grek stopped the bridge, his scaled skin glistening under the harsh lights. The subjugation of this human colony was proceeding efficiently. Soon another world would join their empire. Then a crew member paused, tilting his armored head as though listening to something. Commander, he said hesitantly, do you hear that? Grek turned, irritated. Hear what? A voice. It's whispering. Before Grek could respond, another crew member stood abruptly. I hear it too. Within minutes, the entire bridge crew was distracted, looking around frantically. Some clawed at their communication devices, trying to silence non-existent transmissions. Return to your stations, Grek bellowed, but his order went unheeded. The Whisper was performing exactly as designed, utilizing precise quantum resonance patterns. It targeted the unique neurological structure of the Dravak's brain, stimulating the auditory centers to create the perception of whispered voices, voices that spoke directly to their deepest fears. The effects spread rapidly through the ship. Crew members abandoned posts, some huddling in corners covering what passed for ears in their species, others lashing out violently at imaginary tormentors. The disciplined military hierarchy collapsed into chaos. Sir, Reed reported excitedly, the Dravaks flagship has ceased bombardment. Their weapon systems are powering down. Jack watched the display intently. What about the other ships, also showing signs of disarray? The Whisper's field is propagating through their communication channels as we predicted. The human colonists on New Hope watched in astonishment as their tormentors suddenly broke formation. The dreaded Dravax fleet, terror of countless worlds, was now firing upon itself, ships veering wildly as panicked crews fought battles against enemies only they could perceive. Within hours, Admiral Ward's reinforcements arrived to find the Dravax fleet in complete disarray. The ships were easily captured or neutralized, with many crews surrendering without resistance, still tormented by phantom whispers. In the aftermath, Jack stood in a secure conference room aboard the Defiance as Earth command leaders appeared via hologram. "It worked better than we dared hope," Jack reported. "The Whisper exploits a fundamental vulnerability in Dravax neurology. They have no defense against it, and the device itself," asked General Taurus, "intact and ready for redeployment. Dr. Moss is already working on scaled-up versions." News of the victory at New Hope spread rapidly across human space. For the first time in decades, people dared to hope. The seemingly invincible Dravax had a weakness after all, one that required no massive fleets or planet-destroying weapons to exploit. In the months that followed, humanity deployed Whisper devices throughout Dravax-controlled space. The once mighty empire crumbled from within as their forces became unable to function in the presence of the imperceptible weapon. The Dravax, who had terrorized the galaxy for centuries, found themselves at the mercy of the very species they had dismissed as insignificant. Their conquest ended not with apocalyptic battles, but with the quiet triumph of human ingenuity, proving that sometimes the most effective weapons are those that can barely be perceived, yet cannot be ignored. Commander Jack Foster stood at the viewport of the Defiance watching as former Dravax worlds began the process of reconstruction. Humanity had not only survived, but would now help rebuild the galaxy the Dravax had nearly destroyed. The greatest weapon, it turned out, wasn't one of destruction at all, but one that simply whispered the truth, that no empire built on fear could stand forever.